My name is Belinda Sandor, also known as Rocket Girl. In this episode of the Rocket Girl Show, we're going to talk about how to fill the gaps when things get slow. I'm Belinda Sandor, also known as Rocket Girl. Today, we're going to talk about how to fill the gaps when things get slow. So from time to time, when you're just starting out as a virtual assistant, it's not uncommon to find yourself with a little bit more time on your hands than work. And when that happens, I want to invite you to look around your business. And I used to play a game called If My Business Doubled Tomorrow, What Do I Wish I Had Done Today? Right? So think about that for a minute. Now, of course, I always want you to be leaning into, getting clients and bringing new people into your collection, as I call it. But also it can be a time to evaluate your business and look around to make sure you're being represented in the best possible way. So we're going to talk about a few ways to do that. Okay. All right, so I want you to examine your business from the outside in. Okay, think about it from the point of view of the people who don't know everything you know about your business. What is the experience like for them? So I want you to listen to your voicemail. If it says you have reached 203-123-4567, I want you to change that immediately. I want you to have a nice, friendly voicemail message. Now, mine says, "You've reached Belinda Sandor of Rocket Girl Solutions. Please leave a message at the tone and I'll get right back to you." You don't have to say your business name, but definitely say your name, okay? Because you're missing an opportunity to make a connection, to have them hear your voice, all right? So definitely I want you to do that. The other thing I want you to do is I want you to look at your email signature. Is it clear? Do you have your phone number? Right? Sometimes we have meetings. I have had meetings and I can't find the person's phone number. So definitely don't worry that your phone's going to be, blown up by a million people calling you. That's not going to happen. But you are going to seem more accessible, and we want that, right? We want that. The other thing I want you to do is read your website homepage. Make sure that it makes sense. It was a while after I got married that I realized, oh my gosh, my name changed. I started to look at my website and I thought, holy cow, it's been a while since I really looked at this. Some things have changed and I have learned new things and I want to update it. So make sure that you do these things on a regular basis. Here's a big one I want you to do. When I want you to go to your website, and if there's a place for you to sign up for your email newsletter, I want you to do it. And you might need to, use a different email address that's not in your database already so that, the whole process will happen. But absolutely, I want you to see what happens. I can't tell you how many clients have asked me to look at their website. And when I sign up for their newsletter, I'll say to them, well, what happens when someone, signs up for your newsletter? They're like, I'm not really sure. And I find out it's not connected properly. Or the other one is the contact us form. Many clients have said to me, somebody set that up for me and I have no idea where that goes. So can you imagine someone has signed up for your newsletter, someone has reached out to contact you and it's going into a black hole? Don't do that, all right? And just because you set it up once, don't assume that it's, one and done. Check it on a regular basis. I don't mean every month. I mean, every few months, every 6 months. Because technology changes. Maybe the plugin needs to be updated, right? Little simple things that can really trip us up. The next thing I want you to do is I want you to check out your LinkedIn profile. Make sure you have a professional headshot, it's up to date. And I want you to ask for those recommendations that you've been thinking about, okay? Really important. Now, here's something that you may or may not have thought of, and that is posting past content. So I see in the comments here, Rain has said, create future content. Absolutely. Absolutely. This is a great time to do that. But I also want you to think about the past content. So when I first started being a virtual assistant in 2010, I started writing newsletters. Now, what happened was LinkedIn had not invented the LinkedIn article, right? So when they invented that, I went back to my very first newsletter and I started posting on LinkedIn every other week, this old content, this repurposed content. So that's really important, to look at, lift your head up and say, what's been invented recently that I can use what I already have and reach out to more people. Now, the other thing that's happened fairly recently is now LinkedIn has a newsletter, the LinkedIn newsletter. So as soon as that was invented, I did the same thing. I said, okay, we've got, at the VA Connection, well over 100 newsletters. I'm going to start publishing them on LinkedIn to reach a broader audience. Okay. So really think about what can you do with your past content to really, as I like to say to my students, squeeze the lemon, right? Get all the juice out of it. The other thing I want you to do is think about cleaning up your tolerations, those little annoying things that are bothering you. Things like, are the supplies that you need handy? Do you have, are you always running out of ink for your printer? Things like that, things that just kind of get in the way. Do you have enough paper? Printer ink, things like that. I'm bad about printer ink. I know there's a lot of ways you can solve that, but that's one that I think it's because it's so expensive. It's like, yeah. But think about, how you're getting in your own way. The other thing I want you to do is organize your desk. It's easy for our desks to be the repository of everything we're thinking about, right? Whether it's for the Girl Scouts or the Boy Scouts or the PTA or whatever it is, it's really easy for me to pile up books and Post-its and little tchotchkes and all kinds of things. So I really would like to invite you to take everything off your desk, wipe everything down, clean it, and then one thing at a time, decide, does this belong here or does this belong somewhere else? So really clean off the playing field. The other thing that's important to do is to review your finances. Make sure you know what's going on. This isn't something you necessarily have to wait till the end of the year or January or February to do. You can do this as you go. And I recommend this just so you know where you stand. And I want you to do it I want you to do it in a different way than on your phone, because we look at online banking and we think, oh, yeah. But I have to tell you, when I've done that in the past, the end of the year comes and I balance my business finances and I inevitably find at least one or two charges that I don't really know what it's for. And when I lean into it and figure out what it is, it's something I didn't need. And I've spent maybe $100, $120 a month, $10 at a time. And that's money that could be used somewhere else. So really take time to take care of your finances. The other thing that you can do during this time is use your imagination. What's the next big project? Have I been wanting to set up the debit card system? Am I ready to start my email newsletter? Is it time for a website? What if I'm going to, revamp my LinkedIn profile? So pick one big next project or one project and jump in. Really jump in. And while you're doing that, you'll be learning something new that you can offer to your clients in the future. So really, I want you to make this time work for you. Make this time work for you. It can be easy to, dive into, woe is me, this isn't going to work, being a VA so hard, I don't have enough clients. Or you can really grab the bull by the horns, lean into getting new clients, and then in the time that you have that's extra over and above, spend time on these activities. Because really, I used to really think about this. It was kind of a fun game for me. If my business doubled tomorrow, what do I wish I had done today? What do I wish I had done today? So if you're a VA and you're used to being at capacity and things have just slowed down a little bit, it can be a little disorienting. Absolutely. So, yes, make sure that you relax. Take advantage of this, this time to do that as well. But make sure that when the work starts pouring in again, you are ready for action and you're in a better place than you were before. Okay, good. Yeah, so we have some comments here. Good morning from Maria. Hello, Frederica. And Rain, I think that was a great idea to create content ahead of time. I think that's a really great idea. A lot of people do that, and it would be an awesome, very productive use of a little downtime for sure. So go for it. Okay, you guys, I'm Belinda Sandor, Rocket Girl, signing off of this episode of the RocketGirl Show, and I'll see you next week, same time. Bye-bye.